You know, we live in a world that just never stops talking, right? But what if the greatest power isn't in speaking up, but in staying silent? That's what we're going to dig into today, the hidden strength of quiet observation.
I mean, think about it. We're always being told to find our voice, yeah? Speak your mind, make sure you're heard. It's this constant pressure. But what if that's only half the story? What if the most powerful person in the room is actually the one who isn't talking? Yeah, that's the big, provocative idea we're going to unpack right now. So there's this massive disconnect in how we see silence. The common view? That it's awkward, or a sign of weakness, maybe even passivity. But the hidden reality is something else entirely. It's strategic, it's observant, and believe me, it is powerful. All right, so this leads us to our first big idea here, the observer's advantage. And this is key. Silence isn't just an empty space. It's actually a field of action. Now let's be super clear about this. This isn't just about being quiet for the sake of being quiet. No, the real power comes from using that silence to actively observe, to gather all this intel before you even open your mouth.
So, what's really going on when someone's being quiet? Well, while everyone else is busy talking, the silent observer is basically a detective. They're gathering data, they're watching body language, they're analyzing behavior patterns, they're picking up on all those subtle cues that everyone else is missing. It's like a full-on intelligence gathering operation happening right there in plain sight. Okay, so how does this actually work? Let's get practical and break down the psychological toolkit that makes a silent observer so darn effective.
First up in the toolkit is what we'll call observation power. And this is the foundation for everything else. It's that ability to see what other people miss, all because you're not busy in your own head trying to figure out what you're going to say next. You're just present. You're taking it all in.
All right, tool number 2 is intentional speaking. You know how some people's words just seem to land with more impact? Well, this is why. When an observer finally does speak, their words have serious weight. They're not just filling the air with noise. Nope. They've waited, they've analyzed, and they've chosen the exact right moment to say something that actually matters.
And what holds all of this together? The third tool, internal stability. Think of this as your unshakable core. It's this deep sense of self-control. You're not getting pulled into the drama. You're not trying to win an argument or score cheap points. You're just observing from a place of real calm and internal strength. So, if you put it all together, it's actually a pretty clear 3-step process. Step 1, you just observe what's happening around you. Step 2, you analyze the patterns you're seeing. And then, and only then, step 3, you speak with real impact. It's this constant cycle: observe, analyze, act. Okay, now we're getting to the absolute heart of it. This next part is the ultimate psychological reframe. And honestly, it might just change the way you think about silence forever. A detachment response. Wow. Just let that phrase sit with you for a second. That right there, that changes everything. So what does that even mean? It means your silence isn't passive. It's an active, powerful statement. It's basically you signaling to other people that their behavior no longer affects you. You're unhooked. Their provocations, their little arguments, their attempts to rattle you, none of it lands. That is where the real power is.
All right, so this all sounds great, but how do you actually use this? Let's talk about how you can start wielding your own silence, like right now. Okay, so here are your key takeaways. First, start thinking of your silence as a tool, not a weakness. Seriously, try this. In your next meeting, just observe for the first 10 minutes. Don't say anything. Second, make your words count. Before you jump in, ask yourself, is this really going to move the conversation forward? And third, work on that internal stability. That calm center, that's the source of all of it.
So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you're in a room, are you going to be the loudest voice? Or are you going to be the most powerful one? The choice is yours.